Shamps and giggles, history, news, views, and reviews from a black perspective. Shamps and giggles back for 2024. Oh my lord.
Welcome back, Lord of His Mercy. I do not know, did you guys get the chance to pour yourselves a drink? Good Lord. I'm telling you, this is just amazing. And do you know what? It's a wonderful thing. I'm getting good news through the wires right now, and I'm absolutely loving it. Loving life, loving being here with you guys as we just talking the things. And in the recent news, what did we hear? We heard the news about this situation where this young man posted on his TikTok regarding his father. I mean, there's so many things that come through the wire on a regular basis, and we pick up on the various news, and we try to bring it to our audience. This particular situation, you may have seen it across the wires. It's been going viral, you could say. The young man posted here on TikTok about the son kicks dad out of his own home. Let's just play the recording, set the tone, and then we could talk the things. I mean, come on now. You know, when you hear the video. Anyway, I'm going to play it, and we can talk about it afterwards. Let's just hear what I got.
How are we doing, guys? Now, this is a sad situation that I'm encountering right now. But I'm here now with my granddad, which, you know, at the moment is outside his own property here. As you can see, Borthwick Road, here, number 3, outside his own property. And as you can see, the place is laddered with cameras all over the place. Yeah. We've got another camera here, camera there. And also another camera here and another camera there. So basically the backdrop of the story is my granddad worked his whole life to pay for this home, and after paying for this home, he also, you know, was going back and forth from the Caribbean as well. So imagine he goes and leaves to go to the Caribbean, and his wife is left in the house, which is my grandmother, who was very ill. So, you know, she's very sick, so she couldn't travel back and forth as well. So what happens is, his son, meant to be my uncle, but I don't really want to call him that, but his son decides to move in the house. Now, when he moves in the house, what he decides to do is he decides to take my grandmother's account, take her money, and also use a disability car in her name, so that he can drive around freely with using the disability badge. And that's how he lived his life, kicking out every single family member who lived under that roof. So all of a sudden, my grandmother dies of COVID. But why does she die of COVID? Well, the story behind that is she was diagnosed with an illness because she has heart problems and so forth. So she ended up being very sick. Then she went into hospital. And then when the hospital had rang my so-called uncle, he and his so-called wife, or Mrs., decided to say to the hospital she cannot come back and return to her own home because she's aggressive. because of borderline dementia. And she's aggressive. Bearing in mind, she can't get out of the chair. She needs help to get out of the chair. She can't get out of the chair by herself. And so, with that result, they ended up keeping her in the hospital and she ended up dying of so-called COVID. Now, after my grandfather hearing this news, my grandfather is here, 83 years old, by the way. After him hearing this news, he then returns from the Caribbean to then find out he can't get in his home. He cannot get in his home. And this has been going on for the past, how long has this been going on for? 2 years. 2 years this has been going on for. Now, my granddad has gone to court. He's got a court order for my uncle to leave the home. The judge had offered in my granddad's favor and was completely blown back about the whole situation. And even then, my so-called uncle has the audacity to stand at that window right there and stare down at us, laughing and smiling and saying that we're going to get dealt with and that there's ways around it. There's laws and procedures around, you get where I'm going with this? Around gaining access to the property. And so he hides behind that. That's what he hides behind. And so today we're here. We're all here. And we're not budging today. Today is the day where we decide we're going to go all the way. And so, at the moment, we've called the police. So-called uncle have called the police. The only difference is we've called the police with honesty to say that we're trying to get access after the judge has ordered this access. But he's called saying, we're here as aggressors and I'm here with a firearm. Yeah, seriously, with my granddad, yeah, here with a firearm, and I'm being threatening. Crazy, so crazy. And so now we're here waiting for the police to turn up, and they've even had the audacity to extra bolt the front door to make sure we don't gain no access. And then we're just waiting for the police to turn up. And so you're going to see part 2 of when the police turn up and how the police actually deal with the situation.
I'm going to stop it there, guys. This is an absolute odyssey. So, what do you make of this? The grandfather returns to England from the Caribbean only to find his son will not allow access to the property. I mean, come on, have you ever heard of such a thing? Imagine that's you, that's your house, Keith. You've gone abroad. You come back. Dion, you've gone abroad. You've come back. Spice, you've gone abroad. Crazy cousin, you're there, a lot of us. You've gone abroad, you come back. They're not letting you for your yard, you know. They're not letting you in. You go to court, you get the right because you're going to do the legal thing. And they're still not letting you in. What's going on? What kind of madness is going on around here? Talk the things, Leisha, your hand is up. Good Lord, we ain't got much time, but go on with it.
Really quickly, do you know when somebody tells you a story?
Yes.
And they say they're going to come back to you with an update. And then you contact them and you say, what's the update? How's it? What's going on? How's everything? And it's completely quiet. No response. This is what this guy's done. So what he's done is he's posted this on his TikTok. It's deleted from his page. Can't find it on his page. Anywhere, can't find anything.
Oh, the video's gone.
No, he's got that the video's not there. It's not on his page.
Hold on, no, the one I just played, is that gone?
It's gone, deleted.
Raw.
Completely deleted. So I'm thinking, why would he do that? Now, it's interesting when you listen to it a couple of times over, because the son's taken over, the granddad has gone back and forth to the Caribbean. His wife is sick, obviously sick, and he's leaving his wife in England and going back and forth to the Caribbean. Right. It sounds as though during lockdown he couldn't get back, because I know obviously nobody could get back to the original destination because of the COVID at the time. But then he came back, and then his wife's son, comes back and takes over the house. We don't know what really happened, but we need to hear from the son. I need to hear the son's story.
The uncle, you mean, who's in the house?
Yeah, I need to hear the uncle's story, because this isn't because the grandson, the guy who was speaking, did not mention during the time we used to go and see grandma. She was really ill, and uncle, none of that. So we don't know whether or not the son had moved back in to the family home because mother was ill. She couldn't go out to go and get any food and stuff, so he had to go and make sure that she had the food in the house, yada yada yada, etc. etc. And mum, listen, the dad was all in the Caribbean going back and forth, and during COVID he's stuck there. Who's going to look after mum who was sick? Son had to step in, so he must. This is what I think. Son must have said, you know what, I'm going to step in. Dad ain't said nothing, he ain't come back, and he must have said, you know what, I'm taking the thing. I think he's done it to spite him. I think that the son, the uncle, he won't let the dad back in because he sees it as probably after mum passed away, and you were in the Caribbean and during COVID, I've been looking after mum. I'm sorry, only now you want it back, but you were okay back in the Caribbean. I want to hear that. I want to hear granddad's story.
A lot of us
Look
at Boots, she's tuning in from Dubai. She could not resist the story. She was like, hold on a minute, what time? Tim J, your hands up. Leisha, I do like your point. Why you are looking at things, yes? Come in, Tim J, start the things.
Yeah, so my thoughts were, because I tried to find it as well, couldn't find it.
That's
Agree.
what I've been hearing, because that's the first thing I said, by the way.
Yeah, couldn't find it again. But listen, my thoughts are, you see how he's chatting his granddad's business? You see, for you to qualify for certain things in this country, you have to be here. You can't be out of the country. So I see it from that perspective, that he's been claiming benefits and all the rest of it as if he was in the UK, but he's not in here. So they had to shut that down, take that off, because if they're going to start looking into it, it's going to start exposing the fact, as Leisha was saying, that he wasn't in this country.
Right.
He wasn't here.
Valid
So it's going to affect a lot of things. I'm not sure if I'm sold on the fact that the son is doing it from a point of view of nobility. I just think that some of these young people, they're just not what we expect them to be. They don't have the loyalty we expect them to have. Even though I don't think he's a young person per se, they don't necessarily have the loyalty that they think we're going to have. But we also absolutely do not know what the dad was up to outside of the country. I do think, because I looked at the timing as well, I do think he might have got caught up with the COVID. But that being said, it's still his wife. You would still try, your utmost to make sure and ensure that she's been looked after. And if that hasn't been happening in some way, then there would be some disparity about who's responsible, who's been taking the blame, who's been shouldering the responsibility. But my thing is about his government pension and his government bits and pieces, and that fact that that's all gone viral. Is exposed certain things that he should have only been in the UK to access.
This is too loaded. It's too loaded. When you think about it, look what you lot have brought out. And it's like, raw, because there's so many like missing points. Boots, she's in from Dubai. And what's she saying? She's saying that she couldn't find the video either. And look, if the court has ruled in his favor, he has a law on his side, so obviously he should get in. Therefore, where's part 2? Leisha, your hand's gone back up. Where's part 2? Because we're all like, obviously, let's just part the thing. We're all mortified for Granddad. Let's be fair. Granddad, you bought your house here. You're in the Caribbean, because we know that's what our parents' dream was. When they was here, everyone was looking to put the money to go back home, and they got the little things them here, and they can go back and forth as they so please. To find that now you come back and you can't get into your yard. What kind of madness have fun? I mean, so we're all mortified for it. But I mean, Leisha, Team J, you brought some very valid points. Maybe grandma was ill. Granddad was off.
Well, he said
look after grandma.
He said that the grandmother was ill. She had a mobility car.
And she couldn't fly back and forth. So Granddad left grandma ill. Who does that? Keith, where are you? If Gina's ill, are you going to fly out, leave Gina? You're there in Guyana on the beach, living a life for Riley. So who's looking after Gina whilst you're out there?
Well, thank you very much. I'm going to jump in quickly. I see Miss Leisha's hands up. But for me, listening to that, yeah, I thought myself, well, if he's in the Caribbean going back and forth, because we know our parents do that, go back and forth. There's not a crime against that, and you can do that. But yeah, if she's ill, he should have came back straight away. And the other issue that TMJ was saying is that if she was at home and couldn't get out of bed, as the grandson was saying, then yeah, A, who's looking after her, B, who's cooking for her, and C, who's caring for her. So yeah, maybe the son did go back in the house and take over things, and then thought, well, Dad, if you're living life in the Caribbean and we don't know what you're doing in the Caribbean, and you've got another life out there, so to speak, because some elderly parents do decide that one is not enough, and if they can get a newer model of car in the Caribbean, then they will drive the car. So, but what I'm saying also is that there's no law against, because my father's alive still, but he lives in Guyana. Right. There's no law against you living abroad and claiming your pensions, because you're allowed to do that. That you're allowed to do that, because that's what my dad does, and I fight on his behalf in England for it.
Oh, so, look, see the twist.
So yeah, so he gets his government pension and he gets his company pension, and it's paid out into Guyana, which you're allowed to do. So there's not a problem with that. But
well, you got to come back every so often, though.
No, you don't. You don't. What they've put in place, this is just digressing across, so sorry, I'm just putting a branch of a tree out. What you have to do, you have every 3 or 4 years, I think it's every 3 years, it could be even every year, I'd say every 1 to 2 years, you have to prove that you're alive. So there's a life certificate that you have to get notarized by somebody, a doctor or to stamp to say, yeah, you're alive, and then they'll continue your payment, because they stop it. They don't ramp. They just stop the payment. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Well,
yeah, I like that clip. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to say. But
okay, well, TMJ says, nope, that's changed. Hold on, Boots says, yes, there may be a moral issue here, which we don't know about. If the house legally belongs to the father, which I think is proven, but did he inherit the house because his wife died? That we don't know. If the house legally belongs to the father, which is proven, but did he inherit the house because his wife died? Dion got a hand up. And one other thing, oh Lord, Claire T, she chimed in with you, Keith. She said a newer model of car. What a one. Dion, come and talk the things. Lord have his mercy.
No, so I I've just heard another story because, as I said, we don't know everything, and I've heard the other part of it is that the uncle that he's saying has inherited the house, and him and his wife was looking after the mother, his grandmother, and also that the granddad.
Are you revealing the twist?
Yes, and also the granddad hasn't been back for 25 years.
There is a twist. Dion's going to reveal the twist, and it has to be done because we're nearly out of time. So go on, Dion. Reveal the twist in the story.
So the grandfather hasn't been back for 25 years. And even when he found out that his wife was sick, he still didn't come back. So he hasn't been back for 25 years. The grandmother left a will. She did a will 10 years ago. And in the will, she's left everything to her son, who's the guy's referring to is his uncle. She left everything to him because him and his wife actually looked after the mum. So I'm just saying we don't know all the story, and obviously we only hear one side, how this young man perceives it, but there's more to it than what he's shown. Maybe that's why he's taken down his post, because he's not telling the whole truth. There's other two siblings as well who doesn't care for their grandmother, neither don't have nothing to do with her. So it was only her son that it resides in the house, and it was in her name. It's not even in the grandfather's name, it's in her name. So they don't have no rights. So they're gonna stand outside the front door for a long time.
And the freaking guy in the house, the uncle, is a policeman.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes, he's actually a policeman, so he knows his rights. Yes, I forgot about that bit. Yes, that is true.
I mean, you just can't make the stuff up.
Sorry, Joseph.
Yes.
I saw right through. I told you it don't seem right. The man came. When you said you broke it down, looking at it, it just bizarre. Like I said, you've got a story to tell. You're telling the whole world your story on behalf
of Lord.
And all of a sudden,
but the question is why? Why would he lie? Why would he do that? Why do people do that to their family? I don't get it. Why would you do that to your family?
Add insult to injury.
No. The grandson.
In the grandson, when he was showing that, oh look, you can see there's my uncle, and you saw there was a woman there. That's not the wife. That's the new woman. The new model car, Keith. The new model car. She's come back with him to the house of the dead wife.
Look at that.
The grandfather come to take the house back because he thought the wife is dead. Let me come back for the house because she's not there no more.
Yes, he's looking money now.
Yeah, you better go back.
Wasn't there to look after her while she was sick. He's out there living the life of Riley with another woman.
And he met his grandson.
New model. It's another model car, new model car.
Yeah.
I was feeling sorry for him, I was feeling sorry for him.
Don't feel sorry for him because he's feeling up the new model car nicely.
Not the new
so there was a woman behind it. There was another woman behind it.
We don't know. There's always women behind certain situations.
Where was he coming from again? Jamaica?
No, don't go there.
We don't know what the island is.
Don't go there.
Mention any island. But the point of it, he's there with the woman and the grandson. So of course the grandson inheritance. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. They weren't there looking after Granny.
Mm-hmm.
And Alicia, you didn't even know about the twist, and you said that from the start. You don't hear him talking about how he was there looking after Granny when Granny was
nothing. I went
every Sunday.
No, grandmother was sick. I went down and dropped a little loaf of bread and a little pint of milk for her. Nothing.
You sit there. You didn't even hear the twist, but you picked up on that bad boy. Yeah, it's not like he was there every week looking after Granny. Something. TMJ, where your hands up waiting? Talk the things, man. Talk the things.
Hey. Well, we don't know. We don't know what the grandson was doing, but we do know that the grandson didn't actually have full information. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gone public. So
And
somewhere
now,
along the line, he did not have the full info. Had he had the full info, he would not have done that.
yeah, now we might understand why grandson took the post off.
Yes.
Granddad lied.
But
Granddad lied.
by that being said, if he was around enough, he would have had the background.
That's
so
right.
that does tie into the fact that he couldn't have been one of the caregivers for the grandma.
Oh
because
Lord!
he would have known
Come on!
the extent of the whole thing. So he's just fed into the granddad's narrative without anything.
Cut the things. Cut the things.
Amen.
Hey, come on now. He was nowhere to be seen. But they're all looking the money now because a house is worth. I mean, I forgot the name of the boss, and even pointed out the name of the road, didn't he? He sold in himself. He even pointed out the name. There's the house.
Yeah,
the name of the road.
Yeah, I was surprised at that.
Yeah. But you weren't there, son. You weren't there looking after Granny. See, when me, I could talk about me. My mom, 10 years, I was in America. I flew back up in this country because, like, I need to be there. I need to be there. So,
and look how much siblings you have, Joseph. It wasn't even about responsibility. It was just about the fact that you had to be here.
You have to play your part.
Yeah.
You have to play your part. You understand? And every Sunday we're doing dinner. You fix up the house. You're there. So you're there. You know that you're there. Like, mommy needs it. I clean the crap out of my mother's ass. I have to look. You once a man, twice a child. Someday my kids are going to clean the crap out of my behind too. You have to be there. But the old man weren't there, and he's a cheeky little. We're on radio, can't say it. But you're coming back with the new model.
Yeah.
Because
outside the woman's house, Joseph.
Because he can.
House.
Because he can.
That the house was only apparently, according to the twist, was only in her name. So she put that into she made the will and put it to the son. Legal. So he's coming back claiming marital status. But mate, you weren't here. You weren't here. So what it's gonna be, if they're gonna fight it out in court, it'll be a battle. Because I'm sure due to marital rights, even though she made a will to the uncle, because he was married, he may still have some rights.
No, but the fact that it was done 10 years ago, not as a result of her impending sickness, she did it in a sound mind and body. So there's nothing contestable.
But he's the husband, he's the spouse, so he needs to be involved. I'm sure of it. Boots says, if the will was legal, why did the court file in Granddad's favor? Because the court weren't aware of the twist. Leisha, your hand's still up. Keith's hands up. Who's coming in next? Leisha, go on, talk the things. We've got minutes remaining.
Like TMJ said, yeah, and I said to you, the grandson was fed information by the granddad.
There you go.
I think that this granddad fed him information about he's in favor, he's entitled to the house. It's his house. That was never his house. That was never his house. And the son knows that, but he knows what kind of dad he's got. That's why he put cameras up. And the grandson took down the post because, number one, he put the address on. He should never put the address and put it out.
Foolish.
And number two, he knew he got, when somebody took him aside and said, stay out of big people business. Listen, stay out of big people business. You don't know Granddad. You don't know Granddad. Granddad's bringing women from Caribbean with a Sunday hat on and a Sunday flip flops. She's kind of looking for keys to put in door about her new house. And no, go back home.
Granddad has been in the Caribbean as long as grandson has been alive.
Wow, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, radio listeners, we have to say goodbye, but this is the part 2 to the TikTok. We're gonna load it up because big people talk the things and we see right through it, Ross. We're done this.